Welcome to the extraordinary journey of Sylvester Stallone, an actor, director, screenwriter, and producer whose life story defies imagination. From the gritty neighborhoods of New York City to the heights of global superstardom, Stallone's path is one of relentless determination, creativity, and perseverance. Today, we retrace the footsteps of a man who transformed personal struggle into an enduring legacy, and whose influence continues to shape Hollywood and inspire millions around the world. Early life and family background. Sylvester Gardenzio Stallone was born on July 6, 1946, in the tough, vibrant corridors of Hell's Kitchen, New York City. His early life was marked by both struggle and unique charm, a story that begins with his parents. His father, Frank Stallone Sr., was a hairdresser with an immigrant's grit, while his mother, Jackie Stallone, a former dancer turned astrologer, was a force of strength and eccentric talent. Together, they cast a fascinating, if unconventional, backdrop for young Sylvester's destiny. As fate would have it, Stallone's birth was as dramatic as his later career. During his delivery at a charity hospital, doctors used forceps to help bring him into the world, a procedure that inadvertently damaged a nerve in his face. This injury left him with a distinct, slightly drooping lower lip and a slurred speech that would both challenge him and, eventually, become a trademark of his rugged persona. In a world that often prized perfection, this early setback became a defining and endearing part of his identity. Growing up in a working-class environment was not easy. Much of his early childhood was spent in foster and boarding care due to family instability, and the young Stallone learned early on that life demanded persistence even when circumstances were harsh. After a period apart, he rejoined his family, and soon they moved to Maryland, where his mother's entrepreneurial spirit shone through. She opened beauty salons and even established Barbella's, a women's gym, which introduced Stallone to a world where physical strength and resilience were celebrated. School life, however, was a battleground. Bullied for his speech and unconventional looks, Stallone found solace in physical culture. The gym soon became not only a refuge, but a place of empowerment. It was here, among weights and hard work, that a young boy discovered the potential of transforming adversity into strength. His early experiences shaped his fierce determination, laying the groundwork for the drive that would later fuel his cinematic battles and heroic roles. By the time he reached his teenage years, Stallone had also begun experimenting with acting. Encouraged by school plays and local theater, he felt a magnetic pull toward storytelling. Although he faced setbacks and rejections, the combination of his rigorous discipline from the gym and his early taste of drama began to forge a persona that was as relentless as it was vulnerable. These formative years were not only about overcoming physical challenges, but also about nurturing a dream that someday he would be seen not only as a man who fought his way through life, but as one who would fight for his dreams on the world's biggest stages. Struggling beginnings and entry into acting. After the turbulent early years in Maryland, Stallone's journey led him to the world of acting, a realm that was as uncertain as it was enticing. In search of his destiny, Stallone embarked on a path that many would find daunting. With a keen desire to write and perform his own stories, he set his sights on pursuing drama. His academic pursuit led him to the American College of Switzerland, and later to the University of Miami, where he majored in drama and embraced the art of storytelling. Though he would eventually come close to graduation, life's twists and turns had other plans. Struggling in New York City after college, Stallone found himself working odd jobs to make ends meet. He answered door knocks as an extra here, a bit part there, anything to get by. It was during this restless period that he first tasted the bitterness of rejection. For many years, he roamed the back alleys of the entertainment industry, barely scraping together roles that did not always do justice to his talents. Rejections piled up, and every setback only deepened the determination that was slowly building inside him. In those early days, a critical, albeit financially meager milestone came in the form of his first starring role in a softcore film called The Party at Kitty and Studs. Though this role, for years, Stallone also took on small roles in more mainstream films. He appeared in brief but memorable parts in productions like Woody Allen's Bananas and the thriller Klute. These experiences, though modest, added fuel to his relentless drive to write, to perform, and most importantly, to tell a story that the world needed to hear. It was here, in the grinding reality of early career hardships, that Stallone began to develop the toughness and resolve he would later channel into creating his own legendary narratives. Each rejection and challenging gig in those bleak city nights only sharpened his resolve. More than just a series of low-budget films, these formative experiences instilled in Stallone a profound understanding of the price of success. He learned that every moment of struggle was a brick in the foundation of his future triumphs, a lesson that would soon manifest in a creation that would change the landscape of cinema forever. The breakthrough, creating Rocky. In the mid-1970s, as the world of cinema churned with new ideas and rising stars, a spark ignited in Stallone's creative mind. A spark that would soon evolve into one of the most iconic stories of all time. In 1975, while watching the legendary Muhammad Ali fight against a relatively unknown boxer, Chuck Wepner, an epiphany struck him. That night, with adrenaline still coursing through his veins from the excitement of the bout, Stallone sat down and penned what would become the script for Rocky. This was more than just a screenplay. It was a raw, visceral declaration of his own struggles, a personal manifesto that found its voice in Rocky Balboa, the underdog boxer from the mean streets of Philadelphia. In that script, Stallone poured his heart and soul, drawing parallels between the grit of a life full of rejection and the triumphant punch of an unexpected victory. But the journey from script to screen was fraught with challenges. Prominent producers wanted a different kind of star, a well-known actor to carry the role. Yet, Stallone stood his ground. He refused to sell the script unless he could star as the titular character. For months, he battled industry skepticism. As offers would come and go, Stallone's determination did not waver. He believed in Rocky, a character who mirrored his own battles and his lifelong struggle against the odds. Against all recommendations, he persisted. Finally, a breakthrough came when Robert Chardoff and Irwin Winkler saw not just a script, but a revolution in the making. They decided to take a leap of faith on the unknown challenger with a rough voice and a wounded past. In 1976, Rocky hit the screens, and the film's success was nothing short of phenomenal. The story resonated deeply with audiences worldwide, encapsulating the spirit of the underdog and the power of perseverance. Audiences saw in Rocky Balboa a reflection of their own dreams and struggles, an everyman who could rise to greatness despite overwhelming odds. Critics lauded the film's emotional authenticity, and it went on to clinch 10 Academy Award nominations, including nods for Best Actor and Best Original Screenplay for Stallone himself. More than just a box office hit, the film became a cultural phenomenon, a testament to the belief that, with relentless determination, hearts could indeed overcome obstacles as formidable as any heavyweight champion. Rocky did more than launch a film career. It transformed a life. Stallone's personal struggles morphed into a universal tale of triumph. In every punch thrown on screen, every training montage set against a backdrop of raw New York grit, his own journey was immortalized. The success of Rocky not only catapulted Stallone into stardom, but also redefined the possibilities within American cinema. It was now clear that passion and perseverance could defy the conventional rules of the industry, and that one man's determination could alter his destiny and the destiny of an entire genre. As Rocky Balboa's gloves bounced in time with the rhythm of a determined heartbeat, audiences around the world began to believe that even in the face of adversity, victory was possible. Stallone's script was as much a self-portrait as it was a cinematic saga, capturing the essence of the struggle against the odds. His gritty performance, accented by his distinctive voice and fierce determination, became emblematic of every person who ever dared to dream big. And standing in front of the camera, his scarred face and resolute eyes spoke a language of survival, of battles fought in both the ring and in life itself. In the wake of Rocky's triumph, credits flowed in, and doors that were once closed swung open. The film was not merely a reflection of his own life, but a mirror in which audiences could see the endless possibility of redemption and defeat, a reminder that every setback held the seeds of a remarkable comeback. Stallone had not only given the world a fighting champion, he had also become a symbol of what it means to stand tall when the world tries to knock you down. Rising as an icon, from Rocky to Rambo and beyond. Following the monumental success of Rocky, Sylvester Stallone's star began to rise in Hollywood, marking the beginning of an era defined by raw action and poignant storytelling. Not one to rest on his laurels, Stallone parlayed the success of his breakthrough into a diversified career that would forever alter the landscape of action cinema. In the years that followed, he continued to build on the Rocky franchise. Rocky II hit theaters, and audiences once again followed the journey of the determined boxer who had become a household name. Each subsequent installment, through Rocky III, Rocky IV, and later entries, offered new challenges, deeper character development, and more elaborate training montages that transcended the realm of sport to touch the hearts of millions. The franchise's emotional core, the unyielding will to overcome every setback, resonated so powerfully because it was born from Stallone's very own life experiences. But as the world celebrated Rocky Balboa, another cinematic creation from Stallone was quietly preparing to make an even sharper impact. In 1982, Stallone reinvented the archetype of the action hero with the creation of John Rambo in First Blood. Unlike Rocky, who embodied the purity of the underdog dream, Rambo was a deeply troubled, complex character, a battle-scarred veteran struggling to find peace in a society that no longer understood him. This role would prove to be a stark departure from conventional heroes. Rambo's character, with his raw vulnerability juxtaposed against intense bursts of courage and violence, struck a chord with audiences around the world. First Blood was not just an action film. It was a commentary on the costs of war and the scars that remain long after the battles have ended. Stallone's portrayal of Rambo was infused with palpable emotion and authenticity. The film succeeded in capturing a troubled post-Vietnam America, where the hero's internal war was as significant as his physical struggle. The impact was such that the Rambo series spanned several sequels over decades, each installment reflecting the evolving nature of action cinema and the lasting legacy of Stallone's performance. In the years that followed, Stallone navigated between franchises with a rare versatility. He starred in films such as Cobra, Tango and Cash, Cliffhanger, and Demolition Man, each role reinforcing his image as a powerhouse of action. Whether he was scaling virtually impossible cliffs or engaging in intense shootouts, Stallone's performances captured the spirit of resilience and daring. Fans on both sides of the Atlantic were drawn to his blend of physicality, raw determination, and the enduring authenticity of a man who had fought life's battles on his own terms. Yet it wasn't only about muscle and mayhem. Behind the explosive action sequences and epic showdowns lay a man who was continually reinventing himself. The transition from the rugged boxer of Rocky to the troubled soldier of Rambo was accompanied by subtle shifts in his craft, a willingness to explore vulnerability, humor, and even self-reflection. Stallone's ability to morph his persona, adapting to the changing cinematic landscape, demonstrated that his talent reached far beyond the superficial trappings of an action hero. At the peak of his career during the late 1980s and early 1990s, Stallone was not only making millions at the box office, he was redefining what it meant to be a star in Hollywood. Rivalries with other action icons may have captured headlines, but at the heart of Stallone's success was an uncompromising commitment to storytelling, stories that transcended genre and time. Whether delivering heart-pounding action or tender moments of introspection, he became a beacon of persistence, inspiring an entire generation to fight for their dreams despite insurmountable odds. The legacy of these films is evident today, as the characters he created have become part of the cultural lexicon. His meticulous approach to both writing and performing allowed him to capture the soul of each character, forging an indelible bond with audiences that remains unbroken even decades later. From the searing intensity of the boxing ring in Rocky to the relentless determination of a soldier in First Blood and its sequels, Stallone's performances echoed the timeless struggle between hope and hardship, a struggle that, for him, was always personal, always raw. In these years, while his films dominated international box offices, Stallone also began branching into writing and directing, taking creative control over his projects and ensuring that every punch, every glance, and every nuanced moment was a testament to his vision. His projects, such as Rocky III and Rocky IV, not only delivered knockout hits, but also reinforced the idea that heroes are not born. They are forged in the heat of battle and the crucible of personal strife. Later, career, reinventions, and enduring legacy. As we move into the later chapters of Sylvester Stallone's career, the story takes on fresh dimensions of reinvention, mentoring, and legacy. With decades of action-packed blockbusters behind him, Stallone has continued to embrace new challenges and adapt to a changing industry. His later projects, such as Rocky Balboa, 2006, and the critically acclaimed Creed series, mark a return to his roots, a tribute to the underdog spirit, now reimagined with the wisdom and gravitas of a veteran storyteller. In Rocky Balboa, a retired boxer steps back into the ring, not solely to fight an opponent, but to fight the inner demons of a lifetime. For many fans, this film was an emotional reunion with the character they had cheered for decades, and for Stallone, it was a powerful reminder of where it all began. The success of this installment reinvigorated the franchise, leading to Creed in 2015, a film where Stallone reprised his role not as the fighter in the spotlight, but as a mentor, nurturing new talent. The character of Rocky Balboa evolved into a symbol of hope and perseverance, inspiring a new generation while honoring his own tumultuous journey. Beyond the ring and the battlefields of cinema, Stallone's influence has permeated every facet of popular culture. Later in his career, he embraced ensemble projects like The Expendables series, a franchise that celebrated the era of action heroes from the 1980s and 1990s. In these films, Stallone not only starred alongside other action legends, but also helped shape the new wave of gritty, large-scale action filmmaking. His willingness to collaborate, to mentor younger talent, and even to take on cameo roles in projects far removed from his earlier personas, demonstrated that his energy and passion for storytelling remain undiminished. Off-screen, Stallone has cultivated the persona of an artist with unexpected interests, a painter, a writer, and even a passionate advocate for fitness and self-improvement. These pursuits mirror his lifelong commitment to the idea that creativity and resilience extend beyond the confines of the film set. His personal journey, marked by triumphs and challenges alike, continues to serve as an inspiration. It's a reminder that the making of a true icon is not just about blockbuster hits, but also about the ability to reinvent oneself time and again. Throughout his extraordinary career, Stallone has gathered accolades and respect from peers and fans alike. His influence can be seen not only in the films he made, but in the very idea of what an action star could be. He turned personal scars into badges of honor, transforming every setback into fuel for another daring leap forward. Today, as the world stands in awe of his enduring legacy, Sylvester Stallone remains a living embodiment of the relentless spirit of the underdog, the ultimate reminder that with hard work, courage, and heart, even the toughest battles can be won. Now, as we conclude this journey through the life of a Hollywood legend, we are reminded of the words his films have long echoed, the idea that no matter how many times life knocks you down, it's always possible to rise, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. From the humid streets of Hell's Kitchen to the bright lights of premier theaters globally, Sylvester Stallone's story is not just about cinema. It is about the celebration of the human spirit. His life redefines what it means to fight for your dreams, to transform suffering into strength, and to inspire generations with the kind of passion that can only be described as legendary. Thank you for joining us on this remarkable journey that spans over 7 decades of trials, triumphs, and timeless tales. As you reflect on Stallone's incredible odyssey, ask yourself, what battles are you willing to fight, and what legacy will you leave behind?